Sorry guys, my hair's a little crazy. What's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Dylan. You're watching Western Farm Garage. Today we have a little bit of a different video, okay? We got a four-wheeler repair video. I know I haven't made one of those in a little while since the Yamaha Kodiak, but I've actually worked on this four-wheeler before, a couple times actually. So I actually have had to replace fix an oil leak here. I replaced the stator. What else? Replaced the stator, put new seals in the rear end, changed the rear end fluid, new CDI box, all that good jazz. And now we have run into an issue which I feared we were going to run into, but I was hoping we didn't. We got a leak, oil leak out of the rear main. And I'll show you guys when we get toward into it. The way they seal up the rear main on these old Kawasaki bayous, terrible. Absolutely terrible design. Hate it. It is the worst design ever. But, you know, gotta love old engineering. But we're gonna get this thing fired up and we're gonna bring it over to the shop. Okay. Starts instantly, by the way. That's my handiwork. Okay, so here's the deal with this one, and I will show you guys when I get it torn apart. There is a very stupid design that Kawasaki did on the rear drive shaft that makes it very, very prone to oil leaks back there. Whether they just decided to do this design because it saved money on materials or what, I don't know. But all I know is that it is an awful design. Okay, so the back of this is gonna have to get jacked up pretty high, and I'll show you why when I get this off. So let's see, we gotta take these tires off. Those are some meaty tires. Okay. And go over here, this side. Okay. Got all those off. Make sure those are visible. Okay. Yeah. Heavier tires too, Lord. Okay, so now in order to remove the axle, I'm going to have to take these guys loose, which I think are 14s, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. Okay, there's one. There's this guy. 2. One thing I will say is that taking this apart is quite easy. I really don't know if it's leaking off of that. If it's leaking. Those are loose now. Just gotta drop this all the way down. There we go. Down and pull it out. Okay. So it's gonna have to go up higher. Oh! Okay, there we go. What is it? Hold on, I'm confused. Now I should be able to take this piece away from here, like that. Yep, there we go. Nice. Okay. Nice. Yeah. So, that is my culprit right there. So that little thingy inside of there is supposed to keep tension on the shaft so it doesn't move around in the seal back and forth and allow oil to pass through. And that is exactly what is happening. So I'm going to have to take apart this shaft and see if I can get that punched back in, which is not an easy task, by the way. So that is why it has to be jacked up so high, because that seal is not just an oil seal, right? It doesn't just keep all the oil inside the crankcase. It literally only seals unless the drive shaft is inside, which again is dumb. It's the dumbest thing ever. It's like you're literally just asking for an oil leak. Okay, so I did not know that my GoPro turned off, but we got this out finally after finding the right thing for the C-clip, and we got this taken apart. So now the problem is that it's this freeze plug. I don't know if you can see it. It's this freeze plug right in here. Hear that shaking around in there? That's not supposed to do that. And I'm gonna have to do some research to see how people fix that. Because as far as I know, there's not a whole lot of fixing you can do to it. But I'm going to do some research and see what I can come up with. Alright guys, we're back. It's the next day. Went to the local Walmart and got me some JB Weld. And we're going to see if we can get this freeze plug put back inside of there. But first, I got to get all these boots cut off. Yay. Okay, so we're going to get these band clamps off. To do that, you just kind of, luckily it's these guys right here. These are easy, these universal ones are easier to get off than the other ones. And then that'll come loose. You can take that and move that up, and then the clamp literally just comes right out like so. Okay, there's one, and then the other one is under here. See if I can get to that. My screwdriver. Let's turn it. Okay. Maybe I'll just take my hammer and get up under it. Jesus. Oh. See all the oil running out of that? There we go. Gotta be careful not to damage this boot because I can't seem to find another one online, or at least I can't find the part number. Look on Partzilla and I just can't find anything, so gotta be very careful not to damage this boot. Okay. That one's loose. under it. Pry it up. There we go. Now that one's loose. So now this boot is free. And it can come off like so. Slide down. There we go. Okay. So in here we have these, and you just kind of have to rotate it. Let me get something to put these balls in. And you kind of just have to work it out, work these balls out. You might have to come in here with a screwdriver. Kind of, once you get the first one out, it's pretty easy. That one doesn't want to come out very well. Okay. Come on now. Oh, it's the shaft that's stopping me. Okay, so you got to get this off the shaft first. Forgot about that. Rotate this over so it falls onto the bench. There we go. Okay. You take this. Oh. Okay, and then just take you a punch and go in here with a hammer. Go on one of these little flat guys right here and just tap it out. Oh. Well, if it would stop moving, that'd be great. I need a bigger punch. That's a... These all drill bits. Where are all my punches? That's a big one. I take an extension. Should work. Yeah, it'll sit in there nice. There we go. Just work it around, it'll pop right off. You got a little snap ring in there. Okay, and then you can just take these guys right here. You just work it around. Eventually, the balls will come out. Oh, come on now. This one's a little locked up. There we go. There's one. Come on now. Here we go. You just work it back and forth till you get all these balls out. Just like if you were rebuilding a CV axle, pretty much. And then this ball will come out. Should come out. That's the one that might be binding me up. And we should get to the point where this pops right out. There we go. There we go. Okay, now your balls are out, and now you have access to this freeze plug. Okay, kind of just sits down in there like so, but over time the spline shaft on the inside of that will work it out. So what we're gonna do, this is parts cleaner, yep, or brake clean, good enough. Take this freeze plug out real quick. Get that nice and clean in there. Okay, grab me a shop towel, wherever I just set them. So grab this one. Don't want any oil residue on the inside of that, because that is where we're gonna JB weld this guy inside. Okay. Okay. So now we're gonna go get our JB weld real quick. Just back over here. I've seen people put Loctite on it, and apparently they had some good luck with Loctite, but I feel like JB weld is just gonna be a hair stronger. And plus we're gonna flare that edge so it kind of has a better bite in there too. We'll punch it in there with a punch. But for now, I'm just gonna use some JB weld and get it nice and seated in there, okay? Okay. Equal lengths, got it. Don't need a lot, I'm sure. Take our cap, pop that open, okay. And then I think that'll be good of that. Take this one. Oh, that one's harder to do. There we go. Poke that open. Okay. I think I might have had a little bit more of the white in there, but it should be fine. Okay, and we'll take a screwdriver that we don't care about and mix it together. Okay, once we have our compound, I'm just going to take it and apply a good generous layer to the top of this all the way around. Actually gonna, here, let me grab a magnet. I should have a magnet somewhere. One of these drawers anyway. Oh, right here. Okay, get that. And we'll take it and stick it to the back. Steel freeze plug, so magnet makes it really easy. Yeah, like I said earlier, I don't know why they decided to do it like this. This was just not a good design by any means. Can-Am does something similar, but they at least have something, you know, a bolt that goes into the splines, or it goes into the spline shaft out of the transmission that kind of holds it in there. Okay, and we're just gonna take this guy and then get her down in there, pressed in there really good. Okay, now take our finger and get that excess wiped off. Don't want any extra being in there. Okay, go in there with a shop rag, get that all up. Might want to wet your shop rag with some brake clean. Okay. You don't want the JB weld getting up in the splines where the U-joint goes. Just won't be a good day for anyone. Okay. And once you got that seated in and pressed in there nice, let it dry for however many hours it says, 4 to 6 hours. So that's fine, because I will I think I got that pressed in there pretty good. that's fine, because I don't have my band clamp tool. I had to order one online, so honestly, I may just leave that in there. I may just let the JB Weld sit in there and press itself in and harden. I may still take it, punch it just a little hair in the vise, get a nice good flare on it. Okay. Okay, take a punch. And I'm just gonna go in like this and flare it right there. Kind of expand it and make it bite in. Don't want to poke a hole through it, obviously, because then, you know, it's pointless at that point. There we go. Right here. Okay. So now that it's flared in 4 spots, JB Weld is pressed in. I don't think that is going to come back out. I'm just going to be honest. Got some JB Weld trying to seep through the splines. I definitely don't want JB Weld getting in the splines. That's why I didn't want to apply too much. You know how that goes. Okay, well, we're going to let that dry. And the U-joint itself actually seems pretty decent. But anyway, we're gonna let that dry. I didn't know it was a oiled drive shaft. I wonder if I could just slip some grease in there and call it good. Might be what I do. But all right, so now we're gonna let this dry for 4 to 6 hours, and I will pick you guys back up when I'm banding the boot back on and stuff. All right, guys, we're back. It's about a week later. Had to work, obviously, so I wasn't able to come out here and work on any of that stuff. But this set has been sat in here and set in. I tested it in there to make sure it's sealing. If you can see all the oil on the ground over there, I don't know what happened, but it did all leak out. But I think it's just because that the pressure, because normally this has a spring that keeps it in there. See that spring inside of there? So that spring actually keeps tension on this up against the seal so it doesn't back out. And I think what happened is the pressure from the oil inside the crankcase allowed it to push this forward just enough for it to leak past and drain out. It only took about a half a quart, or yeah, no, it only took about a full quart to fill it back up, so it didn't leak out all the oil, it just leaked out some. But yeah, so now we're gonna see if we can throw this guy back together. Let's see here. So we got this little guy that is gonna set in here. So I'll try to just there we go. Okay. Don't tap it very hard. I really didn't even want to do it with a metal hammer, but I couldn't find my rubber mallet, so we're just gonna take these guys. We're gonna slowly start feeding these into their slot. Okay, now those are all back in. So now I'm going to take some axle grease, because when I was thinking about it, this boot right here is not supposed to have oil in it. It only had oil in it because that freeze plug was messed up. So what it really needs is it needs to have a CV axle grease just like any other CV axle. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go get some CV axle grease. I'm gonna clean out this boot, obviously, so it gets all this oil out. Then I'm gonna go get some CV axle grease and I'm gonna put it inside of there. Okay, now we're just gonna get this straightened up. Set that there for a second. Go and grab some grease. And we're just gonna take some and get it all in there. Take a screwdriver and kind of work it in. Okay, that's about all we're gonna use. And we're just gonna take the shaft. There we go. That's in there. Try to get all that grease worked in. There we go. That one sealed much better. Okay. So now I'll just take my dikes and snip off this excess. There we go. Okay. Now I gotta get a little one for the bottom boot. Okay. There's actually a little divot in these that I did not realize. Did I get it in this one? Oh, I got it close. There's actually a little divot in these where the head of this is supposed to rest. Okay, I figured out the trick. So you gotta keep your tension on this guy, on your tightener, this one, as you cut it. Otherwise, if you don't, it'll lose its tension and you won't have a good seal. Yep, it's this way. Oh no. I just realized this boot is crooked. Very crooked. Gosh darn it. Or no, maybe it's just the, yeah, I think it's just the way this is milled. Yeah, it's just the way this is milled, because look at that. I mean, the top of this is straight, and this is at a slant. Okay. So it's not the boot, it's just the way it's milled. That's weird. I might just be able to tap this in by going around. something with a broadhead and punch it in. I need a broadhead punch. Where are all my broadhead punches? Here we go. Okay, now we got that in. Now we can take our C-clamp wherever it went, right here. Get our C-clamp pliers wherever they went. Get my keys out of the way. Okay. Just has to stretch. There we go. Get that stretched around the axle, and then you can just tighten it up. Okay. I can just take another punch and tap it in. I need a smaller one. Okay, now this guy is ready to go back in the four-wheeler. Well, actually, no, not yet. I gotta take, oh no, I forgot to put this boot on. Oh no. It's fine, that's what we have the pneumatic thing for. I'll take this. Bring it over here, get this guy, pressure out of this. Okay, we'll take it, put it in here like so. Air compressor has no pressure. See, that's enough to get it over. Oh, can we go a little more? That. Oh! Dude, I am clumsy. Good lord. Alright, GoPro battery died, but I got the boot up here and on. Got the underside skid plate put on, bolted up, so now it's all ready to go back together pretty much. I just gotta lift this gigantic guy up in here, which is never fun. Some diff fluid leaking out of the vent holes. let's see. I need. Yep, there we go. Yeah. That's that in. It lands on my way. Oh, got that side in. I need this guy to line up. Ow. Okay. That worked out pretty well. Get this guy up in here. Okay, got that side in. Get this one in. Oh, there we go. Oh, get up in there. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. I got it suspended in the air. Oh, yeah, look at that. I got coupled in there first try. Man, I'll tell you what. That is not light, guys, at all. Okay. One. All right, that's bolted back up. Now I can work on getting these guys in. Okay. Go to the other side. That brake line was getting rubbed. Oh, too far. There we go. Oh, too far. Oh, no. There we go. Okay. Now, grab a big Bertha. Okay. Now I gotta get, let's see, what wrenches do I have down here? 3/8, 13, 14, that'll work. This one will have to turn in by hand, the brake drum's in the way. I don't think that's moving at all. Yeah. What does it need? Yeah. Let's see. It needs to come back. There, it needs to twist up one of the two. There we go. Now it's starting. Okay. It is hot out here today. My boots are covered in oil. Slam it. Okay. Got a little oil residue, but I think it might just be residue because it's not hot. And I ran the block for a few laps, so the oil would be warmer than that if it was leaking. That's cold. All right, I think that's just residue. I think we're good. My hair is a crazy mess. Sorry for the wind. Have to stand in here because obviously can't walk out there. You won't be able to hear me. We got it done. I don't think it's leaking oil anymore. I took the boot off on the bottom, as you saw, and all I found was just a little bit of oil residue that I think was already sitting in there. I don't think it's leaking anymore because I ran it around for a few laps. It was well, the oil that I found inside the boot wasn't very hot. It was cool, like it wasn't even inside the motor, so that gives me a good sign to say that this thing is fixed. So thank you guys so much for watching. Now any of you will know how to fix the freeze plug issue on your drive axle on a Kawasaki Bayou. So thank you so much for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.